describing what's happening as it goes along. The group that they are using to front the street demonstrations is called the FPI. The FPI is what are known in Indonesia as preman, street thugs. They were created by the Indonesian army and police shortly after the fall of Suharto in order to do killings.
U.S.-backed dictator.
Yes, in order to do repression and, when needed, killings on behalf of the army without the army having to take responsibility for it. And they would do it under the banner of radical Islam, kind of diverting attention from the fact of army and police sponsorship behind it. This group, the FPI, has been implicated in attacks on mosques. They frequently attack Islamic religious denominations that they do not agree with, attacks on churches, and murders, one of which in spectacular fashion was videotaped, and their mob is seen beating and kicking to death a man who's lying face down in the mud. They openly call for the hanging and murder of various politicians who displease them. They live day to day by, in addition to the funds they get from the army and the police, by extortion. They claim to be religiously compliant, but one of their key tactics over the years has been to go into strip clubs, go into bars. If the owners haven't been giving their weekly payoff to the FPI in a timely enough fashion, breaking the place up with heavy sticks, then taking the liquor and drinking it or reselling it. I mean, this is famous on the streets of Jakarta. Everybody knows about this. Another of their big activities has been evicting the poor. They would be rented out to army, police, rich developers, landlords, in order to violently evict poor people so that their homes could be demolished and used for other purposes. The group also happens to be listed by Western intelligence, including ASIO, the Australian Intelligence Service, as a violent extremist organization, the term they use for terrorists. And this happens to be one of the cases where their characterization of a movement as violent and extremist is accurate. This group FPI also has numerous connections to ISIS. The leader of the FPI militia is a lawyer who is a corporate lawyer for Freeport-McMoran, the giant U.S. mining corporation that is controlled by Carl Icahn, Donald Trump's good friend and White House deregulation advisor. This lawyer, his name is Munarman, he represents a local corporate front for Freeport, and he is there presiding over the militia, as the FPI militia, as they commit violence, and standing next to the FPI leaders as they call for the death by hanging of Jakarta's governors. This lawyer for Carl Icahn's Freeport was videotaped not long ago at an ISIS swearing ceremony, where he was one of two people presiding as a group full of young men pledged allegiance to swore allegiance to Abu Bakr Baghdadi, the leader of ISIS. The program of massive street demonstrations aimed at ultimately bringing down the Jokowi elected government has been endorsed by Indonesians who have gone to Syria and joined up as ISIS fighters, as they describe themselves, etc. This is the group which is being used by the U.S.-trained Indonesian generals and being backed by Donald Trump's key Indonesian business partner, Donald Trump's key Indonesian political backer, and the lawyer for Carl Icahn's Freeport-McMoran. Maybe it was about a year ago, we did a short segment on Democracy Now! Regarding the fact that one of these figures, Fadli, the politician who was involved in this coup movement, he appeared at Trump Tower along with Donald Trump. This was shortly after Trump launched his his presidential campaign. He launched his campaign by attacking Mexicans as rapists, and he got some heat for that. And one of the things Trump did, apparently, was to say to his people, get me some foreigners. One of the foreigners they got him was this Indonesian politician, Fadli. He appeared at the press conference with Donald Trump. For doing so, he was fiercely attacked by the Grand Imam of the Indonesian mosque here in New York City. A very courageous act, by the way, by that imam, given the fact that Fadli is not just a politician, but is also the right-hand man of General Prabowo. Prabowo is the most notorious mass-killing general in Indonesia. He was also the general who was the closest protege of the U.S. Pentagon and intelligence during his military career. So Fadli was attacked by
Prabowo was instrumental in East Timor.
Yes, he did massacres in Timor and many other places. But now it is his right-hand man, Fadli, who was appearing with Trump at Trump Tower, helping in the initial stages of launching the campaign, and who is now one of the main supporters of this movement, which has as its final goal the